shot clock after the buzzer. You already know it, man. Lakers lost tonight, 133-110. Look, when it's all said and done, we can continue to say, "Oh, defense this, defense that," but sometimes the other guys need to step up, right? I mean, look, we just had 3 games in 4 nights, something like that. Yeah, our guys are going to be a bit tired. So when we're looking at, those second string guys that are, finally getting some minutes, we're looking at those guys to make up some time with those minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are valuable minutes. These are opportunities for us to win the game. And let's just look at real quick, one of our viewers, Sakaro40, he said, "No doubt others need to step up and stop relying on Bron. Like, we got a decent team. It's those second chance and bench points, like you mentioned. And that's where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? The second chance points, the bench points. Now, when we're talking about second chance, I want you to understand that's why I'm always talking about rebounding. Because when we're not rebounding, that's that second chance point that those other teams are getting. But real quick, let's go ahead and listen in on Coach Darvingham and see what he thinks about tonight. Coach Darvingham.
Back to playing in a real game. It's just unfortunate things happen. You get these knick-knack injuries, like Jackson, for example. Like, he gets pulled out, and then Cam, he's working him back in. So you have to be smart. You can't be selfish and put them at risk just to, throw them out there to be balanced. But these other guys are getting opportunities. Max Christie and Jalen, and those guys, they're getting real NBA minutes, and so they're starting to understand how hard they have to play and what's expected of them against top-tier competition. And so it's always a silver lining. It's always, glass half full. But, we'll take the day off tomorrow and come back, shoot around Tuesday, and continue to try to Saturday. My bad, my mind's all over the place. But come back Saturday morning, have a shoot around, watch some film on us, get prepared for Houston, and try to put our best foot forward. And hopefully, we get some good medical news in between time.
Darvin, 2 for you. There were a handful of possessions tonight where, LeBron just was, exhausted. You could see he couldn't get back across midcourt. I know this year started with kind of the plan of, keeping him at his minutes down, but injuries and stuff have sort of, and his level of play have necessitated he play more. Will you guys reevaluate that a little bit as kind of the fatigue and the build of the season kind of starts to pack on?
Yeah, I mean, we playing with the best of them, in my opinion. All of everything is spelled out in detail. But again, you have to be ready for circumstances and different curveballs that life may throw you, that situations arise that, you plan for, that's why you try to put together.
You're the coach. He's not panicking. Why? Because there's key players to our rotation that have not even been on the court. Gabe Vincent, Vanderbilt, you just heard him say Jackson Hayes had a little knick-knack injury, Rui Hachimura with the nose injury. I mean, we've been dealing with this all season long already, and it's early in the season, so it's there's not a reason to be panicking. There's 82 games, you know what I mean? So, we got to kind of relax a little bit and understand that there's still a little bit of growing that has to happen, you know what I mean? There's still some understanding, and those things can happen when guys are not even on the court. But while we have the opportunity, let's go ahead and listen in to Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves.
All the adversity you guys have faced?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know if you can really, do that yet. Just because, like you said, we've had so many injuries, had guys out, guys not play. It's kind of been, a next man up mentality, which I think we've done really good at. But at the same time, when you miss guys that are, key pieces to what you're trying to do, it's tough. So, I think we're in a good spot. Obviously, we have some things we need to work on, and things that we do well, as every team does. So we like where we're at.
How do you compartmentalize a game like tonight where you had it early and then they seem to take control of it after the first quarter? Third game in 4 nights, back-to-back on the road. Just how do you break that all down when you try to assess a night like tonight?
Yeah, I mean, any back-to-back is tough, especially when you're playing a young, talented team like OKC that shot the ball really well tonight. They play the game the right way. They're well coached. And, play for one another. So you're going to have to make multiple efforts on the defensive end, scramble, more than, usual. and it's tough. But that's not an excuse. We have to be better. And like I said earlier, we'll learn from what we didn't do good.
Some of the offensive numbers, overall team efficiency.
Look, we all want to know, hey, what's this Laker team like? And this, it's hard to say this, it's hard to say that when some of the things that we're missing are sitting on the bench in regular clothes. 100. You know it, and I know it. And until we get those pieces back on the court, Gabe Vincent, Vando, Rui Hachimura with the nose joint. Look, Jackson Hayes, you heard Coach talking about a little ticky-tack injury that's still hurting him. We need those guys on the court to be able to make something happen. I'm just keeping it realistic. But while we have the opportunity, let's go ahead and listen in to Max Christie. Max Christie.
In the NBA for a reason. You guys had a tough one with the flight from Detroit here last night, and yet also, you don't try to use that as an excuse. So what did you feel like ended up being the difference as OKC turned that 14-point lead around in the first quarter?
Yeah, well, I think back-to-backs are hard. Like you said, it's not an excuse, but it is real. We were definitely tired, and, a lot of our team isn't really healthy right now. So, we got to get back whole. We got to get back healthy. But, they just shot the ball really well, and I think we came out firing. We had a 15-point lead at one point, and then we sort of let it all, go away. But for the most part, they played well, and we were coming off of back-to-backs. We were a little bit tired, but I think we played well to start, and we just didn't finish it.
Some tough matchups for you on this trip. You start with Maxey or Mitchell, and then you go to Maxey, and, tonight Shea. What was it like with Shea tonight, and how might he see a little different from the other guys?
Yeah, he's definitely a lot more methodical, and he's a lot more physical, I would say, with his bumps, his step backs, shot fakes. He gets to free throw line a ton. So, it was a good challenge for me. Obviously, he had a night like he always has, and so, but this experience for me is always important, coming into these games, like you said, on this road trip, guarding the best player on, almost every single team that we played this road trip. So, I had a lot of fun.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. Max Christie has been doing his best thing. Let's be honest. Max Christie has been doing the best that he could. 100. And he's been getting better over this road trip. Now, again, he's not going to remain a starter, but by getting those good minutes, by understanding that, hey, this may need to be you later on down the season, and we're going to need this out of you plus some more, right? Again, it's all about understanding these roles that are on this team. And if these guys can't understand the role that they're asked to play, it's time to move on from them. And that's the shot clock. Hey, thank you for tuning in to After the Buzzer. Until the next one.